If you guys want a copy of these slides, you can do the old take your photo thingy up there. However, I'll make sure that this slide comes up at the end as well. Now, how many of you guys here are doing email marketing? Awesome. Who has not done any email marketing yet? A few of you. Okay, those of you who are doing it, do you reckon you've got that system down pat? It's making you customers while you sleep? What I'm going to do today is I am going to talk to you about how you can grow your email database. Now, one thing that's really important about an email database is that it is actually considered an asset in your business. When you come to sell a business, when you come to have a business valued, when you may need finance or assets leveraged off that business, one of the things that is counted as to how valuable your business is what does your database look like? How many contacts do you have on there? Do they actually engage with you? Do they buy from you? How often do they buy from you? And all of this can be tracked through proper technology, a CRM, an email platform. There's been some rumors lately. Email marketing is dead. Rubbish. It is absolutely not dead. Email marketing is still today considered one of the most effective methods of marketing and relationship building and making sales. Other people out there do. There are 8 billion people on planet Earth. That's quite a few people. I guarantee you that if a couple of them start reading your emails, you're going to get a customer from it. Out of the 8 billion people on Earth, only half of them have the internet. Only half of the world's population has the internet. So when I hear people going, the online world is saturated, there's not enough business to go around, we are literally the first generations to go through online business, to be on the internet. Can you imagine our kids? How they're going to look back at us and go, do you guys realize how much of an unfair advantage you had? Half of the world doesn't even have an internet connection, let alone an email address. So if you start today, you are already ahead of 4 billion people and every other single human being that's going to come out of the womb after you. How exciting is that for a second? We need to stop feeling like I'm behind because I haven't got tech yet. I'm behind because I don't understand what email marketing is. No, you're not. You are literally the future. So now we know we're a little bit ahead of the world. So let's talk about this number here. How many people are using social media to find people, put yourself out there? How many people are going to use it more? You're all going to use it more. Yes, you are. Now, social media is great. A lot of us who are doing it well are making a lot of money from social media. You can, right? It's how we connect human to human. Businesses are human to human contact. However, how many people are worried about overposting on social media? Yeah, a few of you are like, what if someone unfriends me? This is an actual statistic from Meta, aka big boy Mark Zuckerberg himself. When you are posting stuff on social media, only 1% on average of the people that are actually friends with you see your stuff. Only 1%. And here we're all going, I'm so scared to put out my stuff in case my friends unfriend me because I'm posting too much. 1% of them actually see it. Yet it still works. It's still effective. So get this for another statistic. This number here, 36% on average of an email list open your emails. This is an international average. 36% open rate is the average open rate in email marketing. You're going to get 35% more chance of people seeing you if you're doing email marketing than you do if you're doing social media. But you've been to Sarah's workshop and you're going to do both, so you're going to have even more chance of getting seen and heard. Most marketers, most businesses, corporates of all sizes in all industries report email marketing as their highest ROI, return on investment form of marketing. Why? Because an email send is free. Maybe the 10 minutes it takes for you to pop an email together and share something about you, your life, what's going on, and a PS. Here's some ways I can help you. I'm going to be talking to you today about how we can start using this form of communication, because that's what email marketing is, right? To build these relationships up with people, and importantly, to make some money. Who likes money? There should be more hands up in here. We're in business. We are in business. It's the absolute fuel, okay? And I don't want you guys to think if I'm financially focused, I'm narrow or shallow or a crooked old witch, right? Stop the money. It is fuel. It's the only way our business can sustain and move forward and grow and expand. We have to be financially focused if we still want to be around next year to actually help people and make a difference. So money is basically our method, our vehicle for being able to serve more people and maybe eat while we're doing it. Yeah. So inside your emails, you're basically using this form of communication to continuously stay in touch with people. If we're not getting in touch with each other, if we're not coming to meet up at network meetings, if we're not saying, hey, fancy going for a coffee sometime, our relationship's going to die, right? There isn't a relationship there if we're not communicating. So again, when I'm working with business owners and trying to convince them to get into the email marketing, they're like, but what if I email them and they unsubscribe? And so they don't contact anyone because they're scared that they'll lose a friend. And I'm like, they're not your friend anyway if you're not talking to them. Right? So we need to talk for the few that do hang around to build that connection, decide whether they like us or whether we're way too extra, and for them to move on. By building that relationships, we're staying top of mind. And we're also, because we're business owners, using these communication touch points to actually make sales. I have a lot of people come to me and say, I'm doing all the things, Sarah. I'm doing the social media, I'm doing the email marketing, and I'm not making any money. And I say, let's have a look at some of your last 3 emails, shall we? Did you have any kind of call to action? Did you outline your offers? Did you say, P.S., here are all the ways I can help you? Because a lot of people actually don't tell people what they have on offer. They don't tell anyone how they can help them explicitly. And it's as simple as just usually being a bit more explicit in these emails, remembering this is a business and it is to make sales of some kind. All right, how often should you email people? There is no law. This is your business, okay? It's your list. A lot of people get really obsessed with these statistics. They think there must be some magic number out there. Let's face it, your list of friends is very different to my list of friends. You've got different people on your list to what I've got onto my list. So this is actually an experiment where you actually need to start trialing for yourself what works for you. Because the cool thing about any email marketing software out there is they have statistics. They're going to show you how many people opened the email, how many people clicked on the email, and how many people replied to the email. Your job is to increase your own open rates, click rates, and reply rates. That is the only statistic you need to be worrying about. And you're going to do some little experiments. I did a few experiments back in about 10 years ago when I started email marketing. I wonder what would happen if I emailed every week. And then I wonder what would happen if I emailed every 3 days. And then I wonder what would happen if I emailed every day. And what I did is I kept an eye on my delivery rates, on my open rates, on my unsubscribe rates. The more you send, the more are going to unsubscribe. However, the quicker people are going to get to know you. If you and I go out and hang out together 3 times a week, our friendship's going to deepen faster than those of us who only meet twice a year, right? This is how it works with emails as well. So we want to be thinking, how fast do I want to build that relationship up? Who are my audience? Are they people who like to be given some space? Perhaps you might just do a roundup email once a month. Is your industry really fast-paced? Are there lots of changes, lots of things happening? You might want to send some more emails. Or be really smart and have a simple form that people can select how often they want to hear from you. And you can have that group of people who do want to hear from you every day and that group of people who want to hear from you once a month. See, all of these choices as to frequency, how long your emails are all based on your audience and improving your own deliverability and open rates. So I don't want anyone to walk into this bit thinking there's some kind of law or rule book you have to follow. You're the boss, you're in charge. Watch your numbers. That's all you got to do. Now, when you first start emailing, you are going to have a bunch of people unsubscribe at a high number at first, right? It's like cleaning out the old cupboard. There's going to be a lot of people that are sat there that you haven't spoken to for a long time that probably will go, yeah, I'm not interested in this anymore. But having a small list and therefore emailing more frequently is better for your statistics and your ongoing deliverability. Because if you have 100 people on your list and only one person opens your email, the actual email service provider behind the scenes will see that you only have a 1% interest in your stuff. and your deliverability rate goes down. If you, however, have 50 of those people open your emails, the system goes, 50% of people really like this content. We're going to increase the deliverability rate and get it into more inboxes instead of spam boxes. So having less people that are higher quality and more interested in your stuff is actually the goal. Therefore, letting people regularly self-clean themselves and unsubscribe is really good for you. So please don't think everyone hates me when someone unsubscribes. It's actually really good for your statistics and your data. So we're going to talk today about how do we do all this? How do we even find people to get on our list? Who has no email list right now? Couple? Yeah. Handful of people? Cool. So I'm going to cover everything today, from what to do if you have no email list, what to do if you want to make your email list bigger, and also how to start using that email list to put everything on autopilot. Who's in for that? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. So first of all, making this work must have a system behind it. Now, I know you can't read what's on the screen here, but I want you to know that any successful business has a proper strategy behind everything that's being done. So many of us business owners with all of our hats on have a bit of a scattergun approach to marketing, and that's not going to work. And you're certainly not going to make as much money as you possibly could be making by doing that. So in business, there's lots of ways that we can get seen and noticed. For instance, I'm speaking at a network meeting today, potentially going to make some more contacts here, some connections, some new friendships, right? So is obviously one really great way to get noticed. We have social media. What else do we do? Perhaps you might be going onto podcasts as a guest speaking. Maybe you have your own podcast. What are other ways you can get noticed in your industry? Trade shows, yeah, events and conferences. How else can you get customers, do marketing, get seen, get noticed? Sponsoring, doing workshops, lead magnets, digital products, referrals. We can also do what we call snail mail, right? Mail and post. Snail mail today is so old that it's cool again. I did a whole campaign to corporates. I sent a physical copy of a book in the snail mail, and my return on investment from that was significant compared to sending an email, because it had a handwritten on purpose address on the front. Boy, did it get people's attentions. It went right past the gatekeeper, right past the spam box, onto the CEO's desk. Smart one for you to consider that. So anyway, we've got all the 1,000,001 ways that we can be marketing and finding customers. But what happens when we're getting in front of all of these people? A lot of people do all these things, and there's no further strategy to it. It's just like, I hope that one of them chase me and say, here's money, and throw money at me, right? So what we need to do here is all of these things should have what's called a call to action. Has anyone seen this acronym before, CTA? Yes, CTA means a call to action, such as come and get my free thingy, come to my free webinar, download this free Whatsy Jobby, book a call with me, come to this event, whatever it might be. You're getting people to do something that then at some point results in you having their contact information, okay? I'm going to use an email address illustration here, but it means that at some point, the whole point of all of this is to get the contact information. Once we've got that contact information, because again, this is where another lot of people's businesses will stop. They might get one phone call, they get the business card at that event, goes in a drawer, no one does anything with it. They get the email address on their database and they're too scared that someone will unsubscribe if they actually then email it. So they stop. Bye-bye. And this is where a lot of businesses then just nothing else happens. But we have been to Sarah's workshop, so we're going to learn what happens after that. What we have on this screen up here is we're then going to use an automated system or a strategy or a method to build that relationship and make sales. So this is where we're going to have in place some kind of system that is going to have sales. They're all our products, they're our services, they're whatever it is that we do. I'm just going to write stuff we do with a $sign for the S. That's what this system is. If we're going to even bother getting software, doing email marketing, in fact, running a business at all, if you haven't got a structure like this underpinning it all, it's all completely pointless. That's what this diagram is here. We've got content marketing. Content marketing is one of the most effective ways for you to build your brand. one of the most effective ways for people to decide whether they like you and want to work with you. I often describe this content marketing. This is making videos, putting little tip videos out there, your talking head, giving tips and advice in your topic and putting it up online, not only to be seen in the moment that you publish it, but to be seen and discovered long term thereafter in the Google search engines. Because by the billions every single day, people are going to the search engines and typing in, how do I get? How do I do? How do I be? How do I have? How do I not have? How do I stop having? If you have created content, blogs, talking head videos, any kind of content that is literally titled with those questions, your stuff matches those search queries and Google works for you and pairs you up. That's the point of content marketing. So many people think that content marketing is about getting the love heart button pressed on Instagram. Likes! Great, mostly for our egos. But the whole point of content is basically to say, hey Google, hey search engines, and now, hey AI, here are my answers to these questions that people are typing in to the search engine or to the AI bots. Here's my stuff, and it marries you up like a little perfect little partnership. It's going to pull people in, because if in that content you have a call to action, they're going to start being fed through your system, and they're going to be fed through your system for free, because it's the Google search results and it's the AIs that are going to be sending them through. Yeah. Is everyone still with me? Has Sarah breathed once? No. All right, so they're going to be all these other marketing methods that you've got up here. Every single thing you do, every social media post you put out there, every video that you make, come and get my free thing. Every email that you send must have a call to action. Every single time you stand on the stage, do networking. Every single time you get interviewed on a podcast, every time you send out mail ads or do anything at all, call to action, so that you can get their contact details, so that you can follow up with an ongoing system to make friends with them and turn them into sales. That is the most important part. So how do you get their email address? How do you get email addresses? Many ways, but one of the best ones is ask for it. A lead magnet, okay? A lead magnet. A big old magnet is going to magnetize and draw in all of those juicy new friends, all of those prospects that you are starting to meet. Again, a lot of people overcomplicate this. They overcomplicate it so much. Your lead magnet needs to be something that is fast, quick, and helpful. As quick and fast and helpful as possible. For this to work, we want our lead magnet to basically match the thing that people are going to Google and typing in how to, how do I do, how do I get, how do I be. Your lead magnet needs to literally be, if I'm typing in how do I lose weight, right? My thing literally needs to say 3 ways to lose weight fast, 3 ways to lose 5 kilos before your date night. It needs to literally match what I'm typing in so that A, it comes up as a result and I get seen, but B, it's going to really compel me to open it and give you my email address. Please don't think this needs to be big. One thing that works super duper well for this is checklists. How many of you do stuff for your clients every single day? Create a simple checklist, or a 3 ways to, or those of you that teach, grab a Zoom workshop recording. These are all absolutely perfect lead magnets, and you can make most of these digital downloads on Canva for free in seconds. I go into Canva, you can type in, for instance, up here, there's an example. I've typed in checklist in Canva. You've got all of these templates you can use. I've typed in workbook up here, and you can create your little quick guides in Canva, and you go File, Save As, PDF. Done. We're not going to muck around with fancy formatting. It doesn't need to be absolutely the most beautiful thing that anyone's ever created on earth. It needs to answer their questions. All right, so that we can now put it up as a call to action in a number of different places. So the next step is to create what's called an opt-in form, a simple form. This is all we need to do. I'm going to draw it on the board first to show you just how simple this can be. To turn this whole thing into reality, you're going to have this. You're going to have your lead magnet. And like I said, this can be a simple 1 or 2 page digital document, checklist, resource that you've got. You are then going to simply sit that on top of what's called a form. Anyone using Techmatics? Techmatics is a great one. This form will literally have that little box on it that says, put in your name and put in your email address. And then it has the little submit button or get my free thing now. This here is called an opt-in form. Lovely. This is how we get their email address. It's really easy to create these quick forms. With that, what happens behind the scenes is because they've now stuck their email address into this form, it's now gone into your system, you can now create what's called an automation. Also called a workflow. And what happens is this completely auto magic in that as soon as someone's put their email address in, you can now say to the system behind the scenes, now send them this email. You can then go wait for 1 day and now send them this email. And it goes on. And this can go on and on for so long that eventually, like me, you can have a whole sequence of emails that will go consistently for 4.5 years before it runs out. That is how long my automated sequence is. For real. So this is the goal you want to meet. Why? Because if I decide to take a 4.5-year sabbatical, my business is going to still keep working on complete autopilot, because behind the scenes here is the sales system itself. This is a little bit difficult to see, which is why I've drawn it on the board as well. But what you can see here is an example of an actual workflow. This is where we've basically said to the system, when somebody fills in this form, then tag them, add them to it, send them this email, wait for 2 days, send them this email, wait for 2 days, send them this email. Or we've even got there, send them a review request. It goes on, selling on our behalf. And all of these emails in all of the different builders, you're dragging and dropping whatever you want, sending and writing whatever you want. And you are then going to have some kind of call to action at the bottom, which I'm going to detail a little bit more in just a moment. So can you see here now how this process is working? All of this work we're doing, call to action, get their email, and then boom, this automated sequence happens. All with me so far? All right, let's go to the next stage. They're the main steps for getting people from socials onto your list and using a workflow to continue the relationship. But what happens after they join your list? Glad you asked. Now, remember I said to you, this sequence here must be in some way related to getting sales. The whole point of this needs to be to get sales. So what should be inside these emails? So we had the very first email at the very top up here is obviously going to be the email that's going to give them the thing, right? All right. The first email obviously needs to be the free thing. Hello, first name. Thank you so much for grabbing my 5 ways to lose weight checklist. Here it is. P.S. Would you like to come and join my coaching program, whatever it is, our upsell? So inside the following emails, what do we put in those? Yeah, the education and the call to action. Have any of you heard of a tool called answerthepublic.com? Yeah, some have. Who have? Yeah, who's never heard of Answer the Public? Don't know what it is? Awesome. Okay, so what do you put in your emails from this point onwards? After the first one, what on earth's going in there? This is what's going to go in there. The answer to every single question that your audience might ask you about your topic. Every single thing that you know about your topic is going to go in these emails, because if you are seen as the absolute fountain of knowledge in your thing, you're going to get the business whenever that person is ready. So to find out what questions are people asking, we need to actually get some data and find out what those questions are. And you'll be very pleased to know that answerthepublic.com is an amazing free tool that you can use that literally curates the questions that people are typing into the search engines right now at a certain volume. Meaning that if I wanted to do in fact, I'm going to pick someone here someone shout your topic at me, what you're an expert in. Look better naked? Oh, I don't know what's going to come up. let's do weight loss for let's do lose weight. Just this is being recorded. That's going to get my videos banned on social media. So what we're going to do is you're going to type in your topic. Is it weight loss? Is it financial management? Is it real estate? Is it, I don't know, HR? Is it marketing? All right, whatever your topic is, you're going to stick in at the top. And then you're going to press search and you're going to get this awesome set of results. Now, there are a couple of options for this to either view it in this pretty little round diagram like this, or you can change it to tables over here. And you can also, by the way, download the results as well. You only get 3 free searches per day on the free plan. However, I've noticed that if you switch to incognito, you get another free search. It's all based on the IP address. But here's what it's saying. How do I lose weight without exercise? Can I lose weight by walking? Can I use it by Pilates? Can I use it by not eating? Sounds a bit extreme. Can I lose it by blah, blah, blah? Can I lose weight in 3 days? Can I lose weight if I've got PCOS? Here are all the questions that the actual public are typing into Google right now at a certain volume per day within the last 24 to 48 hours. Meaning that if we have content out there in the world that's answering these questions, we're getting the business. This works not just for getting their attention in the first place and being discovered. You're going to take these questions and you're going to answer them in short form content. And you're going to say, if you want to know more about this, come and get my free thing. You're going to send them emails where each day, each week, each month, whatever frequency of sending you've chosen, you're going to answer one of these questions again, but perhaps in a tiny bit more depth. Remembering that only 1% of people see the content you put out there. So it's totally okay to also take that content you're creating on social media and add it to your email automations too. 2 birds, 1 stone. And we don't have to guess what people are asking. To be epic, to be the most incredible, helpful leader in our field, all we have to do is answer people's questions. We don't need fancy shows. We don't need fancy marketing. We don't need fancy logos. All that stuff helps, of course. But the most helpful person in the room always wins. The person who is answering people's questions wins. Not just statistically and technically, because you're literally getting more referrals from the algorithm, but also effectively, because we are being helpful, we're being kind, and we're being that person that makes a difference. So with that in mind, all we have to do in our email marketing in order to make it as effective as possible is see every single email we send as an opportunity to be the most helpful person in their inbox. How can I be the most helpful email in their inbox every time I send one? I have people say to me, I check out every single junk, but I have a folder called Sarah Cordiner. I actually have a folder in some people's inboxes because they see my emails as that helpful. Now, is that a goal of a marketer? Hell yeah. People don't buy straight away. So here's another reason why I have a 4.5-year ongoing email sequence. That's what this is called. Because did you know that today, statistically, it takes 22 touch points, 22 times that somebody sees you before they even engage? That's not before they buy. That's before they even engage, before they even remember that they've seen you before. That's how fast it is, yeah?
4.5 years. How do you recycle content?
I don't need to a great deal now because there's 4.5 years there. But absolutely, I'd recommend you recycle content every 90 days because so many people just aren't seeing your stuff.
Is the open rates, and then whoever hasn't opened it, resend to everyone who opened
Yes.
within a week.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's another awesome tool that you can use is if people haven't opened your emails, resending it. Because if they're not opening them, you either want to remove them if they haven't opened emails from you in 3 months, because obviously it's reducing your overall open percentage. Bit more techie there. So it's a touch points, 22 touch points. Now, the other interesting statistic, a lot of people go to me, my business is failing. I'm a failure. I'm going to give up everything. No one's buying my stuff. And I say, how long have you been doing your nurturing, your re-touch pointing and your re-touch pointing again? It is taking at the moment, on average, 18 months of someone consistently seeing you to make a buying decision. 18 months. How mad is that? This is a post-COVID statistic. 18 months. And this is only if they consistently see you before they buy. Now, of course, there are always going to be people that see you buy it, want it, have it that second. There are always going to be people that take longer, but this is an average across all industries. Yes.
Post-COVID.
This is a post-COVID statistic. So pre-COVID, it was actually a lot shorter than that. It was between 3 to 6 months. But yeah, this is really interesting. And so this is why I say to people, when you start, if you are starting now or you're planning to ramp up your marketing, and I'm talking all of this, social media content, all of the things that you're doing to get seen, get noticed, and to build these relationships, you need to have it already set in your mindset that this is going to take 18 months. And what do I have in place so that it actually keeps happening for at least 18 months? And that's going to help you plan out these emails. Cool. I've been to Sarah's workshop. So I'm going to go to Answer the Public and I'm going to write an answer to as many questions as I can find on here. And I'm going to turn that answer into social media content that has a call to action. I'm going to also turn it into emails that's going to go into helpful weekly tip emails behind the scenes, or daily or 3 daily or once monthly, whatever frequency you've chosen. And I'm going to make sure then that the all-important part in my email template is added. All of this, again, is only going to be half effective if you don't do this bit. So I'd like you all to grab a pen because you're going to write down a sentence that is going to change your income. And it is this. Hey, first name, are you still thinking about ... Now, this is an old school line in sales and marketing that was actually invented by the granddaddy of marketing called Jim Rohn. Some say Jim Rohn, some say Jim Rohn. It's a marketing line, but it's been used and adapted now in internet marketing for the last 15 years. But this particular line is a really smart line because it actually asks them a question rather than saying, buy my stuff. So in the ... you're going to say, are you still thinking about whatever it is that you help them do, the result? For instance, hey, first name, are you still thinking about losing weight? Hey, first name, are you still thinking about running Facebook ads? Hey, first name, are you still thinking about buying a property? Hey, first name, are you still thinking about increasing your wealth? Hey, first name, are you still thinking about 10x in your company? This is what you're doing, is you're asking them a question, and then you're going to have a second line. Okay, write down this next line. Here are X ways that I can help you. Here are X ways that I can help you. Because we're hoping that silently in their head, they've gone, yes, I am still thinking about that. And you're now going to present the solution. I get so overwhelmed by the result that comes up, who to choose, who to go with. Do you know who I pick every single time? Because I'm a human being, AKA lazy. It's the guy or girl who sent me an email saying, here are 3 ways I can help you do that. And I'm like, oh, brilliant, click. I pick you because it was easy and convenient. We are creatures of convenience, especially if you've seen that person's name continuously pop up in your inbox and you keep subconsciously going, oh, I'll get to that. Oh yeah, I'll get to that. All right, you've just made it so freaking easy for me to just go, oh, okay, I'm just going to do it now. Click, done.
I only do video email marketing.
Nice.
I think my industry full dinosaurs and I want to be led. I hate reading.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just click play.
Awesome.
And what data have you got around that?
The question we've just been asked is about the email content. Should it be a video in the email? Should it be text in the email? Should we have lots of pretty pictures in the email? Now, let's go back to human beings. We all have different preferred ways of engaging with content. I'm a teacher trainer by trade, so we all know that there are different kinds of learners. Some are visual, some like to read, leave me alone, let me skim myself. Other people love the kinesthetics of a video and be engaged by a human being entertaining and talking to them, to listen and have the audio behind the scenes. So what you can do in your emails, and this is actually what I put in mine, because we want to go, how can we touch as many of those people's preferences and preferred information consumption methods as possible? So what I have on mine, because what I do is I answer all of my questions on social media via a video with text. The first bit in the email is a video section where it has the video embedded in the email for the people who like to just click it and potter around the kitchen listening to the video. Then underneath, we've got other people who are like, I'm not listening to a video. Ain't nobody got time for that. They like to skim the text. So you're also going to put the text of the video. Now, one thing, I don't know if many people know this actually. How many people know that YouTube transcribes your videos for free? All right, some people don't. So for those of you who are doing videos, let me just show you how simple this is. If you go on over to YouTube, open up any video. This can be your own or other people's. Absolutely any video at all. Let's click on this one of mine.
Bam.
And down underneath, wait for it to load. You've got this section where you can drop down and open more info. It's the description of the video. And voila, you have the transcript option right there. Ta-da, love it. There is your whole entire transcript. Now, if you've been on Sarah Cordner's training and you're using amazing video editing tools, I teach you more that actually do it for you. But here, all you need to do is copy and paste your video transcript, chuck it into ChatGPT and say, please turn this into an email for me using my language from this video. It's going to write your emails for you. Oh, I have another cool tip about that at the end of this presentation. So hold my beer because we're going to talk about AI in a minute. So thank you for bringing that up. Mix up our content as much as we can. But this bit here, this is the most important part. On your email template, you're going to say, are you still thinking about, so mine would be creating an online course. Here are 3 ways that I can help you. There are a number of things you can pop here. You might want to get them on a coaching call. Maybe you offer one-on-one coaching. Who offers coaching? Who offers like consults? Yeah, consulting calls. You're going to want to get them on a call. Send them to your booking calendar. Give them a link to book a call with you. Perhaps you have a course. Anyone here got courses? Plan to? Yeah. All right. Maybe you have some kind of service. Who provides services? Yep. Come and get in touch. Book our service. Here's how you can get your services from us. Whatever it is that you offer, all the ways that you offer them, you're going to list them here. So I'll have come and join my low price thing first, and I'll normally then increase the pricing. Come and book a call with me. Come on my Legends Lab coaching program. Come and join my technology. Come and get my service. Yes. This is basically the equivalent of an email signature. Yes, this is your footer that goes on every single email. It should be on the footer of your mass mailing template. It should also be your signature on your everyday emails as well. So many people just expect their customers to know what they do. Right? We're so immersed in our business that we forget that the rest of the world isn't. Right? And most people just simply aren't telling people what they do. It amazes me when I'm in Facebook groups and I'm chatting away and people are dropping like tips. They're clearly trying to present themselves as an expert in their field. And I'm like, oh, cool, that's interesting. I'm going to go check that person out. I click on their profile and there is nothing. It doesn't say what their job title is. It doesn't say what they do. It doesn't say how they serve people. It doesn't say what I can buy from them. And I'm like, I'm coming here to buy from you because I like you. You're cool. I'm actively looking and I can't find what I can buy from them. It's incredible. As a little segue to that, you're going to replicate this on your website too. It again blows my brains out. The whole point of your website is to get business. And most people simply don't say, here are 5 ways that I can help you do this. On your website, it doesn't need to look particularly pretty, just like mine, but the homepage really needs to be, you really need to have on your main homepage and on every single one of your blog pages, something that looks like this. Let me show you. Oh, look, here are 5 ways that I can help you do X. You can get my free thing, you can join this, you can join this, you can book a call with me, you can do this. Your websites need to be more black and white. Simplify it. Too many people are overcomplicating stuff, making me jump through a funnel, and only if I go through that funnel and open that thing and book that call do I find out what you actually sell at the end. All right? Get rid of it. Just tell me up front. Some people are going to go straight to the high ticket service because they need you right now. But if you've hidden that behind a whole bunch of funnel walls, you're not going to make any money at all. And most people just don't get that far, especially if they don't even know what juicy fruit you've got to offer at the very end of the yellow brick road. All right, so who's got it on their to-do list? They're going to stick a nice little footer at the bottom. Here are all the ways I can help you. Yes, good. Okay. Next thing, this is your homework. Please take a photo. This is your homework. You're going to stick this down. You are going to go to answerthepublic.com. You're going to pick the top 10 questions that people ask you all the time. Ideally, the questions that most frequently come up. And you're going to write an answer to each of them. And you are going to do two things. You're going to make some kind of social media post for every single one of those 10 questions. You're going to answer it in a social media post with a call to action. And then you're also going to use that same question to write an email. Yeah? Yes, Sarah? Yes. And you're also going to add your all-important template fixed thing that's always at the bottom of every single email in the whole entire world. Watch your sales change. You're welcome. So how do people even discover your epic lead magnet? Glad you asked. So now you've got this super duper sexy lead magnet that you've made. Either it's a recording of a workshop, you've made some kind of digital download. You are going to need to start sharing that with the world. Who here has a link tree or a link page? Who has no idea what a link page is? All right. A link page looks a little bit like, this is a classic example. It's basically a page on the internet, yourwebsite.com/links, right? It's just a page on that has all of your important links on it. All your social media links, all the stuff I can buy from you, link to book a call with you, how I can get on your email list. Basically, it's a collection of all your important links, all in one place. Every single social media button, all the booking links, all the service links, all the inquiry links that I need in one spot. If your social media profiles don't have your link tree in it, by the way, you get them completely free of charge if you have a Techmatics account, you are missing out on sales. If I don't go to your social media profile or your website and have everything in one spot, I'm probably missing out on all of the things I could click on. This is going to change everything. You're going to stick your lead magnet link in a link tree, and you're going to put the link tree on your email footers, on your Facebook bio, in your Facebook page bio, in your Instagram bio, your TikTok bio, your everywhere possible bio, at the end of your slide decks, as you're going to see in a minute, right? You're basically going to put this everywhere and make this your main place that you send people to. Those of you who are doing presentations, put it on your things on the tables, put it on your business cards, your link tree, so that I'm going to the one place where I can find all your stuff and opt-ins. You can then start doing some super sexy stuff with technology. Now, this is a screenshot from inside Techmatics. Who has seen those posts on social media that says something like, get my free recipe book, comment bananas below, and I'll send it to you for free? Who's seen those? These are called comment posts, and they're also called comment engagement posts. And they're one of the most effective ways to get people's email addresses, because the more somebody comments on a post, the more boosted that post becomes, the more people's feeds it shows up in. So if Dane was to comment on my post, is going to show up to all of Dane's friends, right? If Rosemary comments on my post, now my post is going to show up to all of her friends as well. So you want people to comment on posts to boost the post itself. But what will happen with technology is you can actually really easily create these kinds of automations, because you don't want to be sitting there all day, then going DMing the person, sending them the free thing because they wrote bananas, and then going back to the post and saying, hey, Dane, I've sent you the thing. Check your inbox, babe. Ain't nobody got time for that. So what are you going to do? You're going to create an automation. Here's another example of an automation. Somebody has commented bananas on my post. You tell it which one. And then respond on comment. This literally says here, now reply to the comment. So I can pre-write a comment that says, hi, first name, check your DMs, babe. The bot has commented for me. And then we're going to send them a message on Messenger, and it's going to actually send them the free thing because they wrote bananas. And you're sipping pina coladas. All right, how good is that? So this is how sexy it can get. I'm not going to blow everyone's brains out too much today with that, but I want to just seed for you how you can now start using this lovely, sexy lead magnet you've made. Don't let it collect digital dust. Now literally make it a monthly post, exactly the same one. Comment boobs if you want to get my how to look good naked lead magnet. All right, you can be really fun and playful with this and get tech to do it for you and repeat it month after month to keep growing your list. I have a lead magnet I made 7 years ago. It's still relevant. It is still bringing me in leads to this day. Tens of thousands of contacts from something I spent a day making 7+ years ago. This stuff gets really exciting. Now, the next thing I want to touch on is, now that we know that in order to be top of mind, to get found, to get search engines to work for us and AI, All we've got to do is answer people's questions. So now let's get even more strategic about it and plan out the next 12 months of question answering. So we're going to go to answer the public. We're also going to go to tools like Google Trends, because that also can tell us what questions people are asking. We're also going to go into Facebook groups and use the search engines. But basically, what we're going to do is we're going to create a whole 12-month plan. You're going to write down all the months of the year from now over to the next 12 months. And you're going to ask yourself, what stuff shall I post? Once a week, once a day, maybe, to answer people's questions, so that we can give them a call to action, so that they get on my list, so that my thing continues building. Because guess what? I've been to Sarah's workshop. He's now telling you that every time you answer one of those questions, you add another email at the bottom of the sequence. So this sequence that's going, hey, here's a really helpful tip, first name, PS, here are all the ways I can help you. And that is just getting bigger and bigger, and it's growing forever. You're now creating an absolute weapon of a list building sales machine behind the scenes. So you're going to now, basically, you can't see this one very well, so I'll see if I can open it up on a big screen. Sorry, this visual is not amazing here. Here's an example of how I do mine. So you have columns: January, February, March, April, May, June, right? I've got some of my templates there showing over here. But you're basically now going to decide, what am I going to post on social media on each of these days? Now, this is an example of a Trello board, and I've shown you this one because I know not everyone has Techmatics. Techmatics also has Kanban boards that are exactly like this, okay? 5 minutes to go. You're simply going to write down look at all these. They're questions. This is my actual social media content. What questions am I going to answer? I film a video and I put some text in with it. It goes up on socials with a call to action, which gives them a form, which puts them through the automation, which also has that tip somewhere in the automation too. So we're going to now add to our to-do list, plan our social media content. We've planned out our content. We're going to batch create our content. Our brains are much better at doing the same task in one big batch go. So if I'm doing videoing and I want to do videos to answer my questions, I'm absolutely just going to block out a whole day and film for as long as my voice can handle it, because it takes a while to get in the zone and for this practice to work. We're then going to batch schedule the content on a social media scheduler. Anyone using social media schedulers? Yep, cool. It saves you so much time. Again, no one's got time to sit there all day sharing a post on this platform, then logging into an Instagram and sharing it on there, and logging into TikTok and sharing it there. A social media scheduler, like the ones we have in Techmatics here, will actually, you upload the post once, you check all of the profiles you want it to go to, choose the date and time you want it to go out, and you can even set it to repeat. So if it's a question that you see come up all the time, you can set it to repeat monthly. That's better. Putting something out there on repeat is better than having nothing out there at all. Here is where you can automate to another level. Now, I don't know how many people love writing newsletters. Nobody, absolutely none of us. Because you're creating content, you don't have to write newsletters anymore. You can do this thing called an RSS campaign. Don't even worry too much about that. Every single website has what's called an RSS feed. And normally all it is your website.com/feed. All right, if you've got a website and you're posting blogs, if you're posting videos on YouTube channels, have a feed as well. And all you're going to do is when you build your email inside Techmatics and most of the other email platforms, you have this little option here called an RSS element. You drag and drop that there. You paste in your feed URL and you say, send out my latest content once a week on, and then you forget it and pour another pina colada. And your system will literally send all of that week's content that you have published to your list every single week without you doing anything at all. And it will hyperlink to the content if they want to reach it externally, and even suck in the actual content itself.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it. It's amazing. Here's my last tip of the day. Now, if all of this seems absolutely exhausting, who needs to have a nap right now? Woo! Okay. You'll be pleased to know that you can get a bot that literally is a clone of yourself. So ChatGPT in April decided to open up the ability to create clones. This is where, and I'm going to show you how simple it is in 1 minute, you can go into your ChatGPT account, you click the little profile picture up here, you click My GPT up here and you press Create a GPT. And you'll see here, I've got one here called the Legends Lab Coach, which I have trained. Basically, all you do behind the scenes, or in fact, I will show you just because it really is this easy. My GPTs, click on my little GPT here. What I have done is I have got all of my videos from the last 15 years, got the transcript, copied and pasted it into the back end of this bot creator right here. By the way, this is just normal ChatGPT. You're going to say to it, you are now a copy of me. You're going to learn everything about me. You're going to speak like me, talk like me, write like me in my brand voice, and you're basically going to be Sarah Cordner, for instance. And then down here, you can add any documents. I've got books I've written, I've added as attachments. I've got all of my transcripts of all of my videos I've ever done. And I have got all of my blog posts I've ever written and all of my social media content I've ever written. And I've just loaded it in the back end. So now this can become both your customer service bot, it can become your inquiry bot, it learns all your services, but also it can now create all of your content for you and literally speak exactly like you. You can see here, mine's available in ChatGPT itself. So my clients can come in and say, which one of your courses should I take? Here's my problem. And the bot's going to reply saying, here are all things, speak like me. You might like to take my Make Your Membership program. If you're thinking about creating a membership, here's the link. I can come to it myself and say, hey, I want to write a 10 sequence email segment on how to make emails. Write it like me. Boom. In my actual words and everything. This takes 4 or 5 minutes to put together. And the more you feed it, the better it becomes at being you. So all this can be done for you. That is absolutely super duper fun. And it's going to save you lots and lots of time in the future. So that brings us back together now of just reminding ourselves, if you want this to work, you do need the full system behind the scenes. And of course, if you want to get in touch with me, you can go to my link tree, which is on Techmatics, sarahcall.com/links. Thank you very much. Happy email marketing. And on time, not a second over. Question.
Okay. So this is effectively like a CRM with more tools.
It's an all-in-one CRM and course creation platform built on the high-level base. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that, but we've added in a huge number of extra APIs. So it has features on top of it that are in addition to base SaaS softwares, yes.
And so does it work in a similar way to put Zapier into like ClickUp or something like that?
You wouldn't need either of those if you have Techmatics because this replaces ClickUp.
That's quick.
But yes, you can connect it to anything because we have an open API.
So that does your funnel where if this happens, this is what you do.
Correct.
You asked a question.
Techmatics is built on the high-level base, yes. But we've got a lot of customizations on top, 24-hour customer support, and we have 2 daily training calls a day that are free as well, and free setup.
So if I was to go through ClickUp over to this, to migrate my workflow right now over to that, is that something that...
Yeah, we've got migration services as well, but this replaces everything. It's all your websites, all your funnels, all of your email marketing, social media scheduling. It has AI bots and everything in there for you. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.